My relationship with Allison felt like a fairy tale, at least for the first year. We met in college, in a crowded coffee shop, where we both reached for the last blueberry muffin. It was cliché, I know, but her laugh was so genuine that I was instantly hooked. We were inseparable. We shared everything. Late-night study sessions, dreams of traveling the world, and a tiny, overpriced apartment near campus. I thought she was the one. I really did. I was even saving up for a ring, hiding cash away from each paycheck from my part-time job at the bookstore. But fairy tales have a way of ending, and mine came crashing down with a single text message. It wasn't even from her. It was from a mutual friend, Mark, with a screenshot attached. It was a picture of Allison kissing another guy. The caption read, "Best anniversary ever." Anniversary. We had just celebrated ours 2 weeks prior. My heart didn't just break, it felt like it evaporated. When I confronted her, she didn't even have the decency to lie. She just packed her bags, telling me she'd been seeing this other guy, a wealthy finance bro named Chad, for 6 months. 6 months. A year of lies, of looking me in the eye while living a double life. She said she was sorry, but her eyes were cold. She said I was a great guy, but she needed more. As she walked out the door, she took our shared cat, Mittens, with her. That stung almost as much as the betrayal. For weeks, I was a wreck. I barely ate, I couldn't focus on my classes, and I just replayed everything in my head, looking for signs I'd missed. Was it the sudden girls' nights? The way she started guarding her phone like it held state secrets? It was all there, and I had been completely blind. The anger came slowly, then all at once. It wasn't just that she cheated. It was how she did it. The arrogance, the lack of remorse. She had used me for convenience until something better, or at least richer, came along. She moved on without a second thought, flaunting her new life with Chad all over social media. Pictures of them on yachts, at fancy restaurants, on tropical vacations. It was a slap in the face every time I logged on. One night, scrolling through her perfect, curated life, I saw it. A post about her new, high-powered job as a social media manager for a luxury lifestyle brand. She was bragging about landing the position and how she was going to revolutionize their online presence. An idea, terrible, petty, and absolutely brilliant idea, began to form in my mind. She wanted to be a social media guru. Fine, let's see how she handled a little chaos. I wasn't going to do anything illegal or harmful. My revenge would be subtle, digital, and completely untraceable back to me. It would be my own little inside joke. A constant, tiny annoyance that would follow her everywhere she went online. I started small. I created a dozen anonymous social media accounts, all with generic names and bland profile pictures. My first target was her company's Instagram. They'd post a picture of a $1,000 handbag, and I'd leave a comment from one of my accounts. Looks a bit like the one you can get at the discount store for $20. They'd post a video of a stunning resort, and another one of my accounts would comment, "I heard the plumbing there is a nightmare." My cousins stayed last month. They were small, seemingly innocent comments, just enough to plant a tiny seed of doubt in potential customers' minds. Then I moved on to her personal posts. Allison would post a selfie with Chad, captioned my everything. I'd use an account to reply, "You said that about the last guy too, lol." She'd post a photo of an expensive meal and I'd comment, "Hope that it's not from the place that got a C on its health inspection last week." The beauty of it was the plausible deniability. They were just random comments from strangers on the internet. How could she ever prove it was me? I never liked her posts, never followed her, and I used a VPN to cover my digital tracks. To her, it would just seem like she was having a string of bad luck with online trolls. It started to work. I could see the frustration in her posts. She began limiting comments, then making her profiles private for a while. Her bosses at the luxury brand were probably not thrilled. Their engagement was dropping, and their comment sections were becoming a minefield of mild negativity. I imagined the meetings she must have been in, trying to explain why their pristine online image was suddenly getting tarnished by these random, annoying comments. She was the social media manager. This was her problem to solve, and she couldn't. My masterpiece came a few months later. I knew Allison had a terrible, irrational fear of pigeons. She called them rats with wings. She was scheduled to host a major live stream event for her company, launching a new product line from a rooftop venue in the city. I did some research, found a guy online who ran a business providing trained animals for events. For a surprisingly reasonable fee, I hired him to release a flock of 24 white, ceremonial pigeons from an adjacent rooftop at the exact moment her live stream was set to begin. I told him it was for a surprise wedding proposal. The moment was perfect. Allison was on camera, smiling, holding up a new perfume bottle. "We're so thrilled to bring you this scent of pure elegance," she began. And then, as if on cue, a flurry of white wings descended upon the rooftop. Pigeons everywhere. One landed right on the table in front of her. Another fluttered right past her head. Her professional smile vanished, replaced by a look of pure, unadulterated terror. She let out a small shriek, dropped the perfume bottle, which thankfully didn't break, and scrambled backward out of the camera's frame. The live stream was pure chaos for a solid minute before someone cut the feed. The clip went viral, but not in the way her company wanted. It was reposted everywhere with titles like "Pigeon Pocalypse," "Ruins Luxury Launch," and "Social Media Manager Freaks Out on Live." The comments were brutal. Allison became a meme. Her company issued a formal apology for the technical difficulties as an unforeseen environmental interference. They didn't fire her, but I heard through the grapevine that she was taken off all public-facing duties. She was relegated to scheduling posts from a back office. Her dream job had turned into a nightmare. I have to admit, watching that video brought me a satisfaction I hadn't felt in months. It was petty, yes. It felt like justice. She had shattered my world with no regard for my feelings, and I had, in my own way, shattered her perfect online facade. I stopped after the pigeon incident. I had made my point. I deleted all the fake accounts and logged off. A few weeks later, I got an unexpected email from her. It was short. "Was it you, Kevin?" I thought about how to reply. I could deny it, continue the charade, or I could own it. I typed back a single word. Mittens. It was our code. Whenever we were joking around and one of us went a little too far, the other would just say the cat's name and we'd know to stop. It was my way of saying, yes, it was me, and this is where it ends. She replied almost instantly, "I deserved that. I'm sorry. For everything." And that was it. It wasn't forgiveness, and it didn't magically heal the hurt, but it was closure. I finally felt like I could let go of the anger and move on, for real this time. Revenge, I learned, is a strange thing. It doesn't fix the past, but sometimes it can give you the power to close the door on it and start a new chapter. And my new chapter was looking a lot brighter, and definitely pigeon-free. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.